Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Bitcoin and Mara stock chart planning update video. So, a lot has happened in the last 2 days. We've seen some crazy price fluctuations, and the good part about it is that it all happened very quickly. So, that removes a lot of uncertainty, and it just makes things a lot more clear. Because when we have such aggressive price movement, usually that can fill in any kind of requirements we're looking at for filling in price gaps or filling in Fibonacci extension and retracement levels. And it's just, the faster it happens, the better. It's just, the sooner we can get onto the next structure. So I'm gonna break down some few things because I did change up the Mara and Bitcoin structures to make them a lot more clear. I removed a lot of uh, like stuff I had drawn on the chart because I feel like the less stuff we have on the charts, the easier it is to read, and the more pleasing it is to look at least as well. We don't really need like a screen filled with a ton of indicators and a ton of lines and this and that. Like that's just we don't need that. We really don't, and no one needs that. That's a little too crazy to look at. So I simplified it all. This way I can explain to you guys what's going on a little bit better. So we're gonna start off with Mara, and then we're gonna jump over to Bitcoin, so we can better understand what's going on so far throughout this year. And it is currently the 6th of August, so we're pretty early in this month as well. So we all know that Bitcoin fell recently, and this is due to something a little different because normally there's been a lot of negativity and uncertainty with Mount Gox selling. We had a Germany sell off, which um, that's done. I believe that Mount Gox has no more than 30% left to distribute, and then there was something else. I think it was like a large fund that was also selling off, but I believe that one is done as well. But yeah, there's not much of these large, um, distributions that are going to be happening. They're pretty much almost dried out. We're almost done with that. But what happened recently was we had some recession fears due to some unemployment. I think jobless claims were um, a little too aggressive. There was just a lot of signs showing that including the stock market was also in. And I'm gonna try a video coming up soon breaking down a lot of stuff that's going on with some visuals and some articles and all that. But I believe there was correction territory in the overall stock market, and then there was fears that if we go down any further, it's going to categorize the U.S. to be in a recession again. And I'm not too worried about any of that because I'm not trying to sell out of any of my holdings right now. I intend to continue to accumulate um, and add more onto my swing trades as we continue through this crypto bull market. And if you guys want to see what that looks like, I have a playlist called Bitcoin Portfolio Updates, and I break down my strategy for my core Bitcoin position on that playlist. And also, I did recently purchase yesterday. I added to my Bitcoin core position, and instead of adding straight to my Bitcoin holdings, I added to a Bitcoin ETF, BITU. I feel like it was a really good time to buy, and it was. I pretty much bought it yesterday at the dip. Everything's going up now, although we can continue to easily dip tomorrow and throughout the rest of this month. But my intentions are to continue to accumulate more in that Bitcoin ETF, and I'm gonna have a transaction up here for you guys to look at. But yeah, about 150 shares. And yeah, so instead of adding straight to my Bitcoin position, I'm gonna start updating you guys weekly on my Bitcoin position and that side position that I'm using to also accumulate and get more exposure to Bitcoin, but it's gonna be on a different exchange. So it's just to take advantage of that nice leveraged ETF available to us by pro shares, so I kind of like it, and so I'm buying into it. Either way, Mara stock, quite simply, the recent aggressive dip that, and I'm going to break down Bitcoin a little bit more and how that's going to affect Mara going forward. And I plan to have a MicroStrategy video soon. I'm heavily focused on Bitcoin and Mara. It's my priorities right now. But I do most of the week I do MicroStrategy updates on my Discord and social media, so you can still get it there. But I'll have a YouTube video out soon for that. Either way, the most recent dip for Mara, of course, influenced by Bitcoin's dip. It broke us finally. We were up here. It finally broke us back into or not back, but it finally broke us into the red retracement area. So anywhere in this area is where I'm looking for a support. We did break into it potentially. We could have found support already, and we're starting to move higher. But and just to keep it super simple, until we see prices reach this green retracement area and hold, and so hold and not get rejected right away, where we see a pump up and then we see it get rejected. If we see the prices enter that area and hold, that is the first level of confirmation in order to be more confident that a bottom is in. So that's the first level. Second level is, and it doesn't have to happen, we can skip straight to the third level, but the second level will be a retest of the lower support area within this green retracement area. So by that, what I mean by that is we go up into this area, we either enter the premium half or the discounted half, but regardless, we near the 0.5 retracement, and then we fall back down, and we end up using the the 0.35 as the support, and then we bounce higher from there. That doesn't have to happen because we can easily just consolidate around the 0.5 or even in premium levels, and then just push up, continue from there. So that doesn't have to happen, but if we do see the price break down into here, if we do go up and we break down into this bottom line and we find that as support, that's also very, very bullish, because that shows there's a large amount of buyers within the retracement area. But regardless, third level confirmation is of course breaking above the 0.618 and not falling below it or getting rejected right away. We want to see it break above it, and still prices continue to hold and close the daily candle above that area. And then of course the final confirmation will be finally not being rejected by the overall swing high up here. So although quite simply, and if you guys kind of, there's a little bit of a resistance in this area right here. So if we were to, we can easily be rejected from that and then fall back down further into the red. So until we have those levels of confirmation being met, or bullish momentum confirmation being met, then we can still see easily a retest in this red extension area down here. And then from there, of course, some estimates. We can finish off the third wave in here. So we had a first and then a second wave correction, third wave rally. Somewhere in here conservatively, or just, that's my estimate at the moment. And then a fourth wave, pretty fair estimate will be somewhere in this area. And this is calculated depending, because we can't really get a fourth wave zone until we have a third wave confirmed. But this fourth wave is there temporarily, assuming that the third wave may top out in the premium half of this area. So this is visuals for you guys. But as of right now, this is my third wave estimate up here. So you can see a nice rally eventually coming up to here. This may change, of course, depending on what this confirmation looks like for the support right here in this red area. So that's my thoughts on Mara. We can easily, until we see those confirmation levels being met, we can easily see a retest of the red, or even a one more low scenario as well. But that's going to come with time, and this is why it's very important to be cautious and structure your trades according to your risk tolerance and your time horizon for your trades. So if you guys look back at the last Bitcoin update too, the Mara Bitcoin update, the chart looks a lot more cleaner on this one as well. And we can remove this here as well. The chart looks a lot more cleaner. We have I'm going to extend this as well. Extend it. Yeah, that's about right. So we have the all-time high right here in this yellowish line. Then I extended the third wave correction because I thought at first, well, we had a first, second, and third wave confirmed. But I also did say on previous videos that because this is extremely shallow, this dip into the purple support area is extremely shallow. It is good enough because it did meet our, the minimum, requirements for this. It's absolutely valid. It was very shallow, so I kept saying until we see a break above the previous swing high, we may see a retest of this. We very quickly broke back down it, and now I'm using this as a level, as similar to Mara. This is going to have the same process on confirming bullish price momentum. So again, everything I just said with Mara, it's going to apply to this exactly the same, where we have those 3 levels of confirmation within this the screen area. And of course, we did meet the minimum requirements for this, although again, very shallow. I'm not going to really count this as anything. I'm not really going to pay too much attention to it. But yeah, the same levels of confirmation are going to apply to this. So I'm not going to repeat myself. You guys, I'm pretty sure you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So, excuse me. We have a first, second, third wave correction. I extended it a bit more because we did finally have a pretty deep, nice retest of this area down here. So since we have that, what I'm going to go ahead and say is that for those of you that are not too familiar with, wave structures and how every wave has its own corrective waves in it. So we've had for this first wave, it's quite simple, a first, second, third wave correction. And then you can tell that because we had a low where then the rest were higher, and then we had a top that didn't surpass this previous swing high, and then it fell back down, so we were able to confirm that as a second wave correction for this overall third wave. And then since we started moving below this previous low, and we also broke below the first confirmed low, we, to me, very clearly, I can see 3 overall waves in there. Now, for the X wave, it's a first, second, third, fourth, and then fifth, because this slightly pretty much meets the minimum, breaking that little tiny search of liquidity line right here from this previous swing high. So to me, that's a good 5th wave, because I'm not trying to find an extended 5th wave in a corrective structure. If it did break any higher and surpass this high right here, then that would be an overshooting B wave. This would instead be a ABC pattern instead of WYX, in my opinion, with an overall, again, overshooting B wave. And then we're falling back down to the 3rd wave, where we have another just simple ABC pattern where the B is not overshooting, and then that's what caused us to also make sense that it fell more aggressively downwards. Now, all that put aside, what you guys really care about is what's going on right now. So although the price confirmations are going to apply the same to Bitcoin, or the bullish momentum confirmation are going to apply the same, we do see a solid pullback in this area right here. We can easily, just like Mara, see a retest of support until we see further confirmation in this area. So this is where it's very important for everyone just to be cautious, be patient, have patience, and understand the risk involved with forcing trades. If you're super short term, if you're a very short term trader, I'm not sure what you like to focus on, because maybe you want to maybe short Bitcoin potentially and see a retest of the first level up here. To me, short term, that's more likely just a quick little dip before going up higher. Unless your time horizon is long enough where you're trying to still take longs in to reach 60,000 before you sell out your position. That's completely very possible in my opinion, and it seems very solid. But I like to focus on the larger structures and trade the wave count and the levels. So I understand that there are potential resistance levels in this area. So this is where I'm looking to my short-term trades to start slowly shaving some of it off in case we do get rejected, but still leaving some in case we go higher. And then of course there's accumulation area, simple taking some profit area. And if we continue to go up higher, once we get confirmation of higher price trend, I can always add back to it. But I'll still be looking at securing profits as we move higher towards all-time high. And then from there, letting my core position really just blossom and letting my core position accumulate as much profit as it can, and just watching it. And then if you guys want to know what I'm gonna do with that core position exactly, again, that's in the Bitcoin portfolio update videos. But yeah, that's just my opinion currently on Mara and Bitcoin. Amazing buy opportunity in my opinion. This is it's amazing to have such an incredible technology in my opinion that has so much potential, but then also seeing outside factors influence negativity in this. It's I don't feel right categorizing Bitcoin as an asset, but I'm just gonna call it an asset. It's it's not supposed to be an asset or an investment, but I'm just gonna say it because it is what it is. But yeah, it's an amazing thing with so much potential and so much adoption and so much technology behind it. When you have outside factors like stock market recession fears or inflation rates, and you have all this other crazy stuff going on, and that's influencing Bitcoin, which it shouldn't, because it's not really tied to it, in my opinion. Wow, yeah, like when something doesn't really have to do with another thing, but that thing is like negatively influence the underlying focus, and you can pick it up at a discount, knowing that it's going to recover very soon and very aggressively, because it shouldn't have happened in the first place. It shouldn't have influenced it. I strongly believe that all these negative news, all these articles, all these social media posts about all these fears in the markets right now shouldn't influence Bitcoin the way it did. I strongly believe that Bitcoin should have actually appreciated from all of this. It shouldn't have gone down. But that's just, again, it's my opinion. I don't feel like this should have happened, which means I strongly believe that a correction, a very aggressive correction, it's going to happen, because if something's not supposed to happen, it's going to correct itself very quickly. And so yeah, I've been like I said, I added just those 150 shares of BITU down here because I do anticipate a very aggressive correction. So I wanted to buy a more aggressive position with BITU instead of just adding to Bitcoin itself. So I really like it. I really like where we're at right now in this. I really like how everything's playing out. It's just an incredible time to participate in this. And I hope you guys are taking advantage of this opportunity as well. I hope you guys have a solid, time horizon. Hopefully you guys are not being biased on the short-term picture and you're looking at the overall, price structure. I hope you guys have a great day and take care.